Hi there. So I just wanted to share a unique perspective that I had. It's not anything revolutionary or anything that's going to change the world, but just like a cool way to look at things. I was sitting in an Uber car and I had nothing to do, so I was just sort of thinking about what it would be like to look at the human race in the same way that we look at cells through a microscope. I was sort of took the perspective of a gigantic alien species that came across Earth, and their only way to interact with Earth was through microscopes and to sort of view us as little tiny microorganisms. How would they perceive us? And first of all, I realized that they would probably view us as some sort of mold or fungus that was growing on the surface of the Earth, because they wouldn't initially be able to see the individual human beings walking around. The things that they would notice first is probably the roads and sprawling cities and buildings that we've constructed. And over time, how our cities and roads have sort of crept across the surface of the Earth. And you can imagine these aliens trying to like decipher what's going on with our species. And they would sort of look at houses as like these people boxes that are sort of containing the humans for whatever extended periods of time. And cars as these things that get them from point A to point B along their roads. But they wouldn't really view the humans as the priority. They would sort of see it as one giant organism and the humans as one part in that. The things they would probably care about the most isn't necessarily the things that we would care about the most, or the things that we would think they would care about the most. For example, I doubt they would care very much about the political structure of our society or the types of food we eat. They would more care about, just in a very broad sense, how our society, how our organism takes resources from the environment and converts that into more concrete, more mass of the organism. Which maybe one of you watching, if there's anybody watching, can sort of like, I would like to see like some sort of spreadsheet or something from the aliens' perspective of like how are the humans getting their resources, and then how is it getting translated into them expanding. I expect this to be a hard concept maybe to fully get into for some people, just because we like to think of ourselves from our own point of view, with sort of the locus of our own focus. But in reality, we are just a small part of a much larger picture. You have atoms making up molecules, molecules making up cells, cells making up humans, and humans making up a society. And the only reason we draw the line at the human is because we are human. Our consciousness lies within the human being. But I think that if you were to step outside of that and sort of imagine yourself as the consciousness of our society or the consciousness of a cell, you wouldn't necessarily draw that line there. The point I'm trying to get at is that an organism, including the railways and roads and buildings, is just as much of a being as humans are. In a very deterministic sense, we are technically nothing more than incredibly complicated chemical reactions. And to extrapolate one step further, to say that these chemical reactions interacting with each other, in the sense that humans interact with each other to create a society, is just as much of an organism as the chemical reactions themselves. Doesn't seem like such a crazy proposition. Alright, so that was just some thoughts that I had that I decided to put into a video. I don't know if I'll ever post this or where I'll post it. I do understand that this is a very niche form of content, so wherever you're watching this, if there is the ability to leave a comment and you did appreciate this, please leave a comment. I would love to talk to somebody that shares similar interests with me, because I haven't been able to find many. Anyway, yeah, see you next time.